Though the three civilizations, the Harappan civilization, Mesopotamian and the Egyptian civilization, they were contemporary. We can see a lot of difference between them, particularly between Harappans and their contemporaries. Now this difference is in their thinking and also in their socio-political administrative system, because of which we can see a lot of difference. Usually given a choice, people prefer to visit either Egyptian or the Mesopotamian sites because there is a lot of things to see on the ground, like pyramids in Egypt, even life-size images, or even royal tombs, pyramids, and various other objects. And same is the case with Mesopotamia also. There are large number of public monuments, including jiggaris. But in case of Harappans, we do not see this type of creations. Harappans have not really created these type of large monuments. And therefore people think that that there is nothing to see in the Harappan sites, and therefore usually they are not attracting the tourists and the common people. But here I would like to explain the difference. The Harappan philosophy is different. The Harappans have made tremendous contributions in the history of the country and also in the history of the world. The Harappans also have made tremendous contribution in basic sciences and technologies. And it is our responsibility to highlight these aspects, because we very often talk about the history of the Harappan people, their lifestyle, their social organization, religious organizations, etc. But we hardly explain the difference. We hardly explain the contribution made by the Harappans. And the entire world they want to hear it, right, about the these aspects which are not really known. And once these are highlighted properly in maybe museums or maybe at the archaeological sites, perhaps a lot of people will get attracted towards the Harappan sites. Now the difference we can see in two things. One, of course, is differences in their socio-political organizations, administrative organizations, and in their thinking. Harappans have not created monuments. That does not mean that the Harappans were not competent or they could not have done that. On the contrary, the Harappans were so advanced, they were considered to be the best civil engineers, and they could have easily created these type of monuments or this type of creations. But they have not done that intentionally, because they thought that this type of creations are of no use to the common people. The Harappans created everything for the people, for the common public. Whereas in Mesopotamia and Egypt, it was revolved around the kings and queens only, the monarchical system only. And whatever creations have been done there, they are done on behalf of the rulers, on behalf of the kings and the queens. So that is one very important difference between the Harappans and their contemporaries. The system that we see in Mesopotamia and also in Egypt, we get the evidence of large palaces confirming the presence of the monarchical system. We also get life-size images which are created again on behalf of the rulers. We also get large number of public buildings like pyramids in Egypt or ziggurats in Mesopotamia, and also a very rich royal tombs. They contain huge amount of wealth. If you see maybe the evidence from the royal tomb of Tutankhamun, you'll be surprised because they have buried the entire wealth, in fact, along with the dead body. We do not get even 1/10 of that in the entire Harappan region. But that does not mean that Harappans did not have sufficient wealth. They had, of course, they were very rich. But they did not showcase the wealth in this particular format as the Egyptians and the Mesopotamians have done. So, the administrative system, the political system was different back in Mesopotamia and Egypt, and therefore they have created all these exotic monuments and creations. In case of Harappans, probably the system was different. Certainly we say that the Harappans did not have the monarchical system as their contemporaries in the West had. Now this is confirmed because in case there was a king or queen, we should have found palaces. And these palaces would have existed only at the Harappan cities. And as you know that there are only 5 Harappan cities. Mohenjo-daro and Harappa in Pakistan, which have been excavated, and the third city in Pakistan is Ganibariwala, which is not excavated yet. Whereas in India we have Rakhigarhi, the biggest Harappan city, Dholavira, etc. And at none of the sites except Ganibariwala, all the 4 sites have been excavated on large scale. But we have not really found any evidence of palaces. What we are getting, in fact, the type of evidence we are getting is we are getting some big, maybe architectural components, big houses. And usually the Harappan cities were divided into citadel and lower town. And these big houses are found, in fact, in the citadel part, which is probably made for people of the higher ranking. So that indicates that perhaps the Harappans were administered by maybe group of people, not any particular individual. So like today, today we have the panchayat system in each and every village. And the panchayat is run by the elderly people with the help of the other people in the village. So this type of system may have existed. So this is certainly the beginning of democratic system, in fact, in the world. So I give the credit, in fact, to the democratic system being introduced in the world to the Harappans. And therefore the creations was done by the Harappans, which was meant for the common people. Unlike in Mesopotamia or Egypt, here the creations were made by the people for the people. So that is very, very important. We do, in fact, when you look at some of the architectural evidence, which gives also some hint that Harappans were so capable of doing or creating this monumental architecture. There are some monumental architecture in the Harappan levels also, but they are for the practical purpose, for the people. For example, almost all the Harappan cities are strongly fortified. In fact, the fortification wall at the site of Dholavira is almost 18 meter thick on top and maybe 25 meter thick at the bottom. So this gives idea, in fact, how huge strong fortification walls were created by the Harappans. Then we find also at the site of Dholavira, we find excellent evidence of water harvesting and water management. Perhaps this is the kind of evidence which is unparalleled in the contemporary world. Then we also have the Harappans also have created dockyard at Lothal. Then there are large number of maybe manufacturing centers, number of Harappan ports. So these monumental creations at these sites, they were only for the people, not for any ruling class. The fortification walls were made for protecting the people from any outer maybe threat. The water harvesting was made at the site of Dholavira for the people to survive and sustain. They established long distance trade, also seafaring activities, for which they built ships, they built dockyards, they built ports. So these were all people centric, not monarchical centric at all. And they were required for the people. So they have created this huge, these type of monuments or creations which is for the people. So this is a difference. The creation that was made in Mesopotamia and Egypt was for the royal family, whereas the creation made in fact in the Harappan area was for the common people. This is the difference. Then system was different. In Mesopotamia and Egypt, we have strong evidence about the monarchical system. Strong archaeological data is found. Whereas here in fact the evidence points towards the democratic setup of the system. How the creations were made? Again there is a difference. In Mesopotamia, the Mesopotamians are considered to be the very aggressive people. Even Leonard Woolley, who excavated Ur and Uruk, these are the two important cities in Mesopotamia. He always believed that the Mesopotamians were very, very aggressive people. So they were perhaps invading the surrounding areas, capturing some areas, adding in their empire, and the defeated people were used as slaves. There is a very strong and a very good depiction of this. We have the strong evidence in fact in this respect. So these slaves were used. In fact, this type of evidence is found both in fact in Mesopotamia as well as in Egypt. So they had very strong slavery system. So the slaves were used for building maybe pyramids, for building ziggurats, creating life-size images, digging those huge maybe royal tombs, and also the lot of servants in fact were also intentionally killed when the king or queen died, and they were also buried along with them. So that system was existing in fact in that part. And because of that, because of the slavery system, the Egyptians could do that. In the Harappan level, we do not find any evidence of that. No evidence of slavery. In fact, it is believed that the Harappans were non-violent people, because neither we get large number of defensive or offensive tools or the equipments or the weapons, nor any evidence of the Harappan cities or settlement being attacked. So we believe that the Harappans were very peace-loving people, non-violent people, and these people could have developed some good relationship with the contemporary population outside the Harappan region. So they could take help in fact of the communities and also their associates, in fact, outside maybe the Harappan settlements. So by using the community strength, they have probably created these type of monuments. Today, in fact, the Panchayat system, every village is almost self-sufficient. They undertake the maybe some works, public works, which are made for the people, and the entire community gets involved in that. So that system was initiated by the Harappans, and we can see the continuity of that till today. So this is very, very, very important, very important to understand. So if you understand the difference between these people and the Harappans, then you will notice that the thinking was different, in fact. Harappans, they did not have a lot of advantage. They did not have a lot of wealth. But what they did, in fact, they established very flourishing trade with their contemporaries outside the Indian subcontinent. They had trade contact with Mesopotamia, with the Gulf region, with Egyptian region, with Persian Gulf, with Central Asia, and probably even with China. And the evidence that we have, both in fact the textual evidence from Mesopotamia and also the archaeological evidence from the Harappan sites, clearly indicate that the trade was flourishing and beneficial to the Harappans, because we find more Harappan material in the West, in Central Asia, in the Persian Gulf region. And on the other hand, we are getting very small amount of the material from that part. So maybe very few things were coming from there, but large number of things were sent from here. In fact, there is a list of that, in fact, given in fact in the text, Mesopotamian text also. So that, of course, I will discuss in fact later. But through the trade, they established interline trade for getting the raw materials. They had the technology with them. They processed the raw materials, and they started supplying, the finished goods first to the same people from whom they obtained the raw material, and then they created exotic material, exotic items, which are only made for the trade purpose. And there was a greater demand. From the evidence we can make this particular statement, that there was a greater demand for the exotic Harappan objects in the West, like beads, stone beads of semi-precious stone, ivory objects, shell objects, objects made from various other semi-precious stones. So there are great demand, and we know that the Harappans produced this material on mass scale. So through this, they generated a lot of wealth, and by this particular wealth, Harappans did not believe in burying them with the dead bodies, unlike the Mesopotamians and the Egyptians did, because they realized that once it is buried, it is gone forever. That cannot be used for the benefit of the people. So they use this wealth for creating very beautiful, well-planned and hygienic cities for the Harappan people. They develop, roads, main roads like, east-west direction, north-south direction, small roads, lanes, by-lanes. And they develop a very impeccable drainage system. In fact, some of the scholars wonder in fact that how the Harappans have invented this type of system almost 4,500 years ago.